What's happening there, guys, and welcome back to Unveiling Wild. The animal kingdom is full of fascinating animals, and there's always some new animal being discovered that leaves people stunned. Let's take a look at 10 bizarre hybrid animals that actually exist. Number 10, LEOPON, leopard and lion hybrid animal. Before we get down to our pick of the top 10 bizarre hybrid animals that actually exist, first let us explain what hybrid animals are. Hybrid animals are the result of two animals of different breeds mating with each other. These animals tend to have qualities from two different breeds, and thus the name hybrid animals. Unless you're very lucky, there's a high chance you might have never seen a LEOPON, and you probably never will. LEOPONs are very rare and result from the union of a female lion and a male leopard. These majestic creatures can grow up to a height of an ordinary lion, but their legs are similar to that of a leopard. LEOPONs also have a ton of other qualities that they've inherited from their parental side, such as climbing skills and a special fondness for water. Lions can grow up to 5 feet and can easily weigh around 500 pounds, whereas leopards have the same length but can weigh up to only 80 pounds. Due to the obvious size difference, it's very rare for these animals to have a hybrid offspring, which is why you'll rarely ever spot a LEOPON. Number 9, wolffin. As you can probably tell by the name, this animal is a cross between the gigantic whale and the playful dolphin. So what happens when a whale and a dolphin decide to unite? Well guys, here's your chance to find out. The bottlenose dolphin and the false killer whale, despite their obvious size difference, need to have a union in order for the wolffin to be born, and the result is way beyond your imagination. It's pretty common for animals from the same species to mate with each other, and while we can't fully grasp what happened that convinced the mother dolphin to mate with the father whale, the result was successful. When the wolffin showed no signs of abnormality, it had to develop maternal instincts at a very young age. The wolffin has traits that it adopted from both of its parents and has a great colored body, which is the perfect blend of the white bottlenose dolphin and the black false killer whale. The wolffin also has 66 sets of teeth, which is an equal division of the 44 teeth of the mother dolphin and 88 teeth of the father whale. Number 8, Belgian super cow. The Belgian super cow originated back in the 1980s and is said to have resulted from the crossbreeding of cattle. This hybrid creature is not the result of natural breeding. A group of scientists and farmers decided that they wanted to create a cross between the shorthorn cattle and the native cattle. Over time, the biggest and strongest animals of each breed were selected and their hybrid was created. The result was an animal that had the muscle strength and weight of almost 20% more than the regular cattle. Number 7, ZONKEY. ZONKEY, or Z-Donk, is probably one of the most popular hybrid animals on Earth, and there's a high chance that you may have heard of the ZONKEY. Resulting from the union of a zebra and a donkey, the ZONKEY has traits of both of its parents. While most animals of the animal kingdom species tend to not mate with species of the other breed, the zebra-donkey breeding is not that out of the ordinary, and scientists didn't intervene to make it happen. Despite the almost natural process of a zebra and donkey mating with each other, it's very rare to find a ZONKEY. These animals tend to have legs that are similar to that of a zebra, and the rest of the body has an uncanny resemblance to a donkey. Number 6, Narluga. The Narluga was first discovered off the coast of Greenland after a hunter had killed 3 of them. These creatures come as a result of the crossbreeding between narwhals and the beluga whale and tend to have characteristics of both of its parents. However, the mitochondrial data of the Narluga is 100% the same as a narwhal. Number 5, BEEFALO, buffalo and cow hybrid. BEEFALO is a hybrid that results from the union of the domesticated bull and the female American bison. When it comes to hybrid animals, their union usually results from forced captivity. However, this isn't the case with this buffalo and cow hybrid. The BEEFALO doesn't need any special attention for crossbreeding, but there are certain advantages that humans get from the union of the cow and buffalo. The BEEFALO has a higher quality meat, coupled with the best combination of traits from both the American bison and the domesticated bull. BEEFALO are relatively easier to raise and produce meat that's much leaner and flavorful. The BEEFALO's traits are dominated by the American bison's genes, and only 37% of its traits comes from the domesticated bull. However, All beefalos that resemble the American bison are usually classified as exotic and are not considered as livestock. In addition, beefalo's meat is not just more flavorful, it's also more healthy since it's lower in cholesterol, fat, saturated fat, and calories. It also has a higher protein count, and it's said that the first beefalo originated back in 1974 and was found in the south of the USA. Number 4. Kama. Kama, a hybrid of a female llama and a male camel, is probably one of the most adorable and majestic hybrids that we've seen up till now. Both the camel and the llama share some DNA, which has resulted in the birth of this beautiful creature, and it has got to be our favorite hybrid on the list. Camels are usually kept as domestic animals and are used for their meat and are also considered as a pack animal. Kama came as a result of the union of a male dromedary camel and a female llama. Even though the llama and the dromedary camel have been isolated from each other for 30 million years, the result of their crossbreeding has left us all in awe. Kama has inherited genes from both of its parents, and while it would have been impossible for these two animals to crossbreed on their own, scientists took it upon themselves and opted for cross-insemination. The idea behind the experiment was to produce an animal that was strong as a camel and had the temper of a llama in order to withstand any and all harsh conditions, and the result was an absolute success despite the rarity of the Kama. Number 3. Killer bees. The killer bees, unlike most other hybrid creatures, came about as a result of an accident. Scientists were trying to increase the production of honey, which somehow resulted in the creation of the killer bees. The European bees were mixed with South African bees to result in a bee that would have an excellent tendency to produce honey. However, the results were quite different from what scientists had expected. The killer bees tend to attack anyone nearby when their colony is disturbed, and they can be pretty dangerous. The killer bees are reported to have taken more than 400 lives per year, so beware if you ever spot a killer bees' hive. Number 2. Savannah cat. Generally, when we think of cats, we tend to think of the domestic cats or the big wild ones that we find in the jungle. While the wild ones see you as prey, the small ones want to play with you. However, there's one hybrid of these two types that blends the trait of both the wild cat and the domestic cat. The first kitten that was born was named Savannah, and this is where the species gets its name from. The Savannah cat is a curious and adventurous cat, and its personality is quite similar to that of a dog. The Savannah cat is pretty popular amongst both cat and dog owners, and is a pretty common house pet. Number 1. Geep. In addition to Kama, the geep is one of the cutest animals on our list. The geep technically has 4 parents since it resulted from the mingling of the embryos of a sheep and goat. The first geep was born in 1984 and is scientifically defined as a chimera. While 6 animals were born as a result of the experiment, only one of them had blood proteins of both the species, and while it survived, geeps generally tend to be sterile. Well guys, here's our pick of the top 10 bizarre hybrid animals that actually exist. While there have been myths about some animals, the ones that we've mentioned here are real. So let us know in the comments down below of what you think about these animals, and do be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already.